Students, faculty, and esteemed guests, we stand here today, in the quiet shade of July 2025, a century and a quarter removed from an event that ripped through the heart of Texas and forever etched itself into the annals of American history. I speak, of course, of the Galveston Hurricane of 1900, a disaster so profound, so devastating, that its echoes still resonate, not just in the rebuilt streets of that island city, but in the very fabric of our understanding of resilience, innovation, and the raw, untamed power of nature. Imagine, if you will, Galveston in the late 19th century. A vibrant, prosperous port city, the largest in Texas, known for its elegant architecture, its bustling wharves, and its confident spirit. It was the Queen City of the Gulf, a jewel on the coast, thriving on cotton exports and a booming economy. Its citizens, accustomed to Gulf storms, had a misplaced sense of security, largely due to the gradual, sloping seabed that usually diminished the force of approaching hurricanes. They had even, at one point, rejected the idea of a seawall, believing it unnecessary. Oh, how quickly hubris can be humbled by the forces of the natural world. On September 8, 1900, that hubris was shattered. A storm, which had formed near Cape Verde and slowly churned across the Atlantic, began to intensify as it approached the Texas coast. The U.S. Weather Bureau, still in its nascent stages and tragically lacking the sophisticated tools of today, issued warnings, but they were largely downplayed, their severity underestimated. Isaac Klein, the chief meteorologist in Galveston, recognized the escalating danger, but his frantic attempts to evacuate the island were met with skepticism, and in many cases, outright dismissal, by a populace more concerned with their weekend activities. The storm that struck Galveston was a Category 4 hurricane, though the Saffir-Simpson scale wouldn't be developed for another half-century. Its winds, estimated at over 145 miles per hour, were terrifying, but it was the storm surge that proved to be the true harbinger of death. A wall of water, 15 feet high, swept over the low-lying island, engulfing homes, businesses, and lives in its relentless grasp. The city, barely 9 feet above sea level at its highest point, was simply swallowed by the sea. The eyewitness accounts from that day are chilling, recounting tales of desperate heroism and unimaginable loss. People clung to debris, to trees, to anything that offered a fleeting hope of survival, as the waves battered and tore at them. Families were separated in an instant, their homes disintegrating around them. The roar of the wind, the crash of collapsing buildings, the screams of the drowning. It was a symphony of terror that few could forget, and many did not live to tell. When the sun rose on September 9th, it illuminated a scene of utter devastation. Galveston was an unrecognizable wasteland. Thousands of homes had been obliterated, reduced to splintered wood and scattered rubble. The beautiful Queen City was now a cemetery, its streets choked with the bodies of its inhabitants. Estimates vary, but it is believed that between 6,000 and 12,000 people perished in the Galveston hurricane, making it the deadliest natural disaster in United States history. Think about that number for a moment. A loss of life on a scale that is almost impossible to comprehend. The immediate aftermath was a gruesome struggle for survival and recovery. Relief efforts were slow and arduous, hampered by the destruction of infrastructure. The sheer scale of the dead presented an overwhelming challenge. Without coffins, and with the threat of disease looming, the heartbreaking decision was made to dump bodies into the Gulf, only for many to be washed back ashore. The resilience of the human spirit, however, shone through the darkness. Survivors, many of whom had lost everything, began the grim task of rebuilding, of burying their dead, and of piecing back together a shattered community. But Galveston did more than just rebuild. It learned. The tragedy ignited a fierce determination to never again be so vulnerable. The city embarked on an audacious and unprecedented engineering feat. The construction of the Galveston seawall, a 17-foot-high, 10-mile-long concrete barrier designed to protect the island from future storm surges. And perhaps even more remarkably, they undertook the grade-raising project, an incredible endeavor where the entire city was elevated, some areas by as much as 17 feet, by pumping sand underneath thousands of structures, many of which were still occupied. It was a monumental undertaking, a testament to human ingenuity and an unwavering refusal to surrender to the whims of nature. The Galveston Hurricane of 1900 stands as a stark reminder of our fragility in the face of nature's power. But it is also a powerful testament to human resilience, to the capacity for innovation, and to the enduring spirit of community in the face of unimaginable adversity. From the ashes of that devastating storm, Galveston rose again, stronger and more secure, a living monument to the lessons learned and the lives lost. As we look to the future, with the increasing threat of climate change and more intense weather events, the story of Galveston serves as a vital historical lesson. It underscores the importance of scientific understanding, of robust infrastructure, and of taking warnings seriously. It reminds us that while we cannot always prevent natural disasters, we can, with foresight and collective effort, mitigate their impact and build a more resilient future. Let us never forget the lives lost on that fateful September day, and let us always remember the courage and determination of those who rebuilt the Queen City of the Gulf. Their legacy is not just in the bricks and mortar of Galveston, but in the enduring spirit of human defiance and the unyielding hope for a brighter, safer tomorrow. Thank you.